Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another unboxing for Red Dragon Inc. This is number 9, the Undercity. So this was just recently Kickstarted, so there will be a 2-part video, just a heads up. First part, we're going to go through all the different characters and all the base stuff that would be in this box. Part 2, I will actually be a little bit shorter, but I'll go through any of the Kickstarter and or collector's edition stuff. So that way, if you're just watching part 1, it's just whatever you buy. Hopefully, whatever you buy comes in retail, and I didn't mess something up. And then part 2 would be like the extra bonus stuff. Just a heads up there. So yeah, we're gonna get 5 actually new playable characters. Here we are going to get Gale, the mycologist, Beast Sergeant Yelga, Dr. Tracy, and Jet the Courier. 4 brand new heroes. Then in the back here, we have an extra villain, which is really fun every time they include one of those. We have Petra the Devious. Also neat is that we have a brand new location. We are going to the Star Motel drinking hole. So we get a new tavern and tavern deck there. So we get 5 brand new characters. We technically actually get 6 because we are also getting an auto. Just a heads up there. Yeah, so we're getting five new characters, 4 regulars, a villain who can also be played as a boss, plus a new location. A lot of cool stuff there. I guess I could just flip over look at the back, like all their different information about each one. But yeah, we got 5 brand new characters. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hop into this. We do have the new rule book here, which of course, just in case you've never played Red Dragon Inc. before, I'm not going to go through the basics of the rules. I'm going to assume that if you're watching video 9, you've probably went through the rules before. If not, I will try and link in the description of video. Either one of the earlier videos where I explained it, or a new one, what goes through all our different components. We did some variant components, which is really fun. So we have team variants, so we can play the boss battle, prize variant cards, pub crawl, and auto 2-player. So it's kind of cool because this is a really good, I think, if you've never played Red Dragon Inc., this might, outside of maybe the base game, because the characters are a little bit simpler, this might be a great one to hop in because you're getting a sampling of all the different stuff. You get your 4 regular characters, you get a boss character to play as, a tavern, some of the prizes. You can see whether it's worth trying to collect all the other stuff if you want to collect more auto or get more of the pub crawl stuff, all that. But yeah, I'm not going to go through too much else on here. Basically, just a quick is a reminder. During your turn, you do a discard and draw. Discard until you have fewer than 7 cards, and then draw back up if you don't. Then you play actions. You may play 1 action card. To play an action card, read the title and play it. An action card could be, so it's going to specifically say action. We have other cards that do other things, trigger at other different times. You order a drink, take the top card from the drink deck, place it face down in any other player's drinking pile. And then on 4, everyone will drink. The top card of your drink pile, follow the instructions, end your turn. Next player goes. So, pretty simple there. There was no brand new extra rules in the game for anything else. Just winning and losing is either running out of gold or passing out. So if your alcohol content gets too high. Explains how gambling all works. Yes, there is a gambling element to the game, but it's not traditional gambling, just a heads up for new players. You play a round of cards in a thing called Gambling I'm In. It's just more like a bluffing if you stay in or out, and then you get some of the gold for the game. But, so if you don't like drinking, and you don't like gambling, and you don't like combat, this is definitely not your game. But yeah, there are no brand new rules in here. There's like specific rules for how each player plays, team variant rules, explaining all that. I'm not going to go through each and every one of those right now. Let's look at our components, though. We are going to get 2 big sheets of tokens. So we have our Fortitude tokens for tracking our health. We have all our different gold. We have potions for team variants, so you can help each other out. We have character-specific tokens, which we'll look at when we get to each character, and we flip them over. They're all just double-sided. And then we have a bunch more gold coins on here, so we have enough there. We have our alcohol tokens, keep track of that, and some more player tokens. Then alternatively, instead of the little hearts in taverns, or tankards, you can use the white and red stones to keep track of your fortitude and health. And it's just kind of, if you want more, a little bit physical appeal, you want to actually have to move them around in a little extra token. But maybe it might be easier for someone to remember if they have that visual picture of a red, or like the tankard or the heart. So those are our components. So I'm going to pull my camera back in, and we will look at our first deck. So we're going to grab, as we do get these nice player cards, which are really fun. They started introducing these after a while. So this is one of the characters' cards. Try not to knock that off the table there. It's just going to show all the information you need. So you have your 20 counters on the outside. 0 to 20 for your health and fortitude to keep track of which direction. Tells your turn order. What's really nice about these cards is if your character has a specific thing they have to do, they tell you. So for Dr. Tarsi here, they have refill patience. On their turn order, they refill patience first, then they do their discard, draw, action, order, drink. Bottom shows your 3 different piles there, which everyone has. And then on the tops and on the sides, sometimes they have extra things. So, Tracy has a patient deck and a patient discard pile, and a waiting patient spot for 2 different things. So let's go ahead and look at the good old doctor's deck. So the other awesome, and these are blank on that side. So the other thing we'll get is we'll get their divider. So if you are sorting your cards out, you will have a nice divider between them. On the back side, they usually explain how the character works, if they have some special effect. I love these and I don't love these at the same time. And it's a personal thing. I love the fact that there's a quick just reminder, so I don't have to keep going to the rule book. I pull out this deck, I can just grab their divider too and be like, oh, this is how this person plays. The thing I don't like about it is that there are characters that don't have very specific rules, like they just play generally, they don't need to have a special setup. They have just information about the character. And that's what I don't like, because I wish either all of them had information about the character, or the other ones maybe just had like some sort of just basic quick rule thing, just so there was synergy, but that's just me. So the doctor here is going to have 2 decks. We're going to have the first one, Human Physician, which is their main deck, has some needles and scissors on there. And then they're going to have a special 15-card patient deck, which will have various things. So setup, shuffle the patient deck and place it near your playmat. Reveal 2 patients, place them above your player mat. Keep 3 splint tokens, 3 salve tokens, and 3 bandage tokens, which will look like those. Medical supplies. Some of Teresa's cards give you a splint, salvage, or a bandage, or your choice of one of those. At the bottom, when you play a medical supply, one of those tokens on your player mat. Patience, at the beginning of your turn. If one or both of your patient slots above your play mat are empty, reveal patience to fill medical slots. At any time, you may spend medical supplies from your play mat to treat a waiting patient. When you do take that card into your hand, it counts as a card and towards your hand size. So, the doctor's basic gameplay is going to be playing cards to gain medical supplies while you're doing your other stuff, and then using the medical supplies to gain additional cards that have special bonuses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, these are the basic cards every character has. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copies of I'm Gambling. So these first couple, I'm just going to call the basic cards. Every single character, or pretty much every single character in every Red Dragon in-game has these cards, or a slight variation of them. So I get to the other players, I'm not going to reread through these basic cards, and I'll point that out when I get there. But we have 6 of these Gambling I'm In cards, which are an action gambling. Starts a round of gambling. Each player, including you, must ante or take control of a round of gambling. So these are your gambling cards. We have 2 copies of I raise. Now, interesting here though is because these do have some of the symbols on the bottom, so they are slightly different for that reason. Take control of a round of gambling. Each player, including you, must ante again. We do have a winning hand. We have 2 copies, but one has no symbol and one has a symbol. Take control of a round of gambling. The next card to take control must be a cheating card. We did have some on the gambling I mean, so that's kind of neat though, even though the regular effects are the same. I can show them off some, but not every single one of Teresa's cards has their medical supplies on them. We do get 2 copies of Barkeep. Bring some drinks for my friend. This is really cool for 2 reasons. One, because it's introducing a new Barkeep. So we have the wench from the original Red Dragon Inn, and the villain set have their own bar that has their own barkeep or drink giver. Just adds a new thing. So that's just kind of cool if they just have a new flavor because they're at a different tavern. It's also neat for the fact is because that means it's potentially another playable character. Because the other 2 barkeeps have both barkeeps or waiters, waitresses have all been eventually made playable characters. You may play this card during the order a drink phase of your turn. Pay 1 gold to the inn. Order 2 additional drinks. Your drinks may be placed in any other player's drink me pile. We have a copy of the Barkeep thinks you should stop playing with the drinks. Negate a sometimes card that changes the effects of a drink. This includes cards that negate, ignore, or spill drinks, pass drinks to other players, or alter any of the drink's effects. This card can only be affected by I don't think so. And let's just have the dual picture so you get the option of which one you want. We have Tip the Barkeep. Pick a player, they pay 1 gold to the inn. Not every character has this card though. And then the last one that every card has is I don't think so. Negate a sometimes card. This card can only be affected by another I don't think so. So I get to the other cards, I'll kind of flip through them quick just to make sure there's no special symbols or anything like that, but I won't reread all those effects every time. Alright, to actually get into Teresa's deck, and a lot of these cards are going to be very similar from one player to the next, or some that have the same effects with a different name, or they'll have very similar sounding names, but I consider them different enough. I guess I'll stick with this hand. A cheating sometimes card. Take control of a round of gambling, or negate a sometimes gambling or cheating card that would force you to leave a round of gambling. Take control of a round of gambling. The round continues to your left. I'm a doctor, not a cheater, with a cheating card. Take control of a round of gambling. Usually the artwork has some pretty fun stuff in there as well. I'm going to drop these down quick. And then, yes, some of these will have symbols and some don't. So we have, sometimes my patient actually pay me. You may place this card when you are about to lose gold. Use gold from the inn rather than your own stash. We have 2 copies of Take That and Call Me in the Morning. You may play this card immediately after you lose Fortitude from a card played by another player. You may not play this card if you reduce that Fortitude loss. That player loses 2 Fortitude. Drink this. Doctor's Orders. Give a drink you are about to drink to another player. That player gains the effect, gain 2 Fortitude. Reveal the drink first. This one has a symbol and this one doesn't, but we have 2 copies of Why Yes, There Is a Doctor in the House. Ignore an action sometimes or anytime card that affects your fortitude, alcohol content, or gold. You may not use this to ignore a round of gambling. You may discard a waiting patient. So that's, now we're starting to get into specifics of their deck. Not now, I'm with a patient. You may play this card when you must ante. Instead of ante, you may leave the round of gambling. You may discard a waiting patient. So with this character, that's the only way to get rid of these patients, is either heal them or get rid of them. And maybe the effect that one of them has you don't want, so you like to refill that slot on the next turn. Or maybe you just don't have the medical supplies in your hand and you'd rather get rid of them and look for something you can use. So I have 2 copies of this one, same symbol. So when I got the ogre in the neck brace like this, and this is a reference to ogre cards as well, to say I got them in this type of hold. Pick another player, they lose 2 fortitude. Alright everyone, time for your checkups. And then he's reaching into Pookie's mouth, and he pulled out a bone, a broken bottle, a boot, and 3 horseshoes. Did he eat a horse and a cowboy? Each player, including you, gains 1 fortitude. Each other player pays you 1 gold. Take these with water. Or that, I guess. Pick another player. They reveal a drink with a possible chasers from the drink deck and drink it. If they reveal a drink event before revealing a drink, they discard it and reveal again. 2 copies of Let's Get You Patched Up, eh? You know, I got a lollipop. Pick another player. They gain 2 fortitude and pay you 1 gold. Don't worry, this won't hurt a bit. That's a terrible Swiss Army doctor knife. Pick another player. They lose 2 fortitude. We have 2 copies of Stay Away from the Shady Healers Guild next time, okay? That's Petra, that's the new character. Pick another player, they lose 2 fortitude. I always love when they have other characters on this artwork. Does this smell like either in here? I'm not sure off the top of my head which character it is. I think that's the... I don't remember. Each other player gains 1 alcohol content. There's so many characters. It's hard to always remember. Alright. 2 copies of Emergency Triage, which you pick one of all 3 of them. There's Pookie again. Little bunny rabbit. You may discard up to 2 waiting patients. 2 copies of Oh Hey, Alcohol is Sterile. I guess. Ignore a drink, reveal the drink first, and then the last card of the deck is I should probably wash up first. Ignore a drink, reveal the drink first. Awesome, so that's fun. So now we get, so the deck is fairly generic. There's not a lot of stuff triggering in there other than the symbols. But that's where we get to the fun patient cards. So the patient cards are going to show name of the card, a sticky Undercity tourist, what you need to heal them with, a little quote by them, and then what the card effect does. So this place, when you play one of the splints, it says, well, that was a bust. Where to now? Then when you get a slime lotion, which is now a sometimes card in your hand. It says gain the effect, or add the effect, gain 1 fortitude to a drink. An acolyte with a sprained wrist. I'm never going to hear the end of this, am I? A bent wand. Pick another player, they lose 1 fortitude. A Tomb Raider with a skin problem. Ancient bandages. Gain 1 gold from the end. Never shake hands with a mummy. A hungover adventurer. And then I woke up in the stables. Leftovers. Add 1 alcohol content to a drink. A dwarf who dug too deep. Lucky gems. Take control of a round of gambling. Each other player must still in the round must ante again. It's hot down there. Sure is, speller. I love this one. You're at the Shady Healers Guild, right? An ordinary goblin with a headache. This is Kogosnarf, one of the villains and playable characters. A suspicious coin. You may play this card when you're about to lose gold. You don't have to pay. An ogre with a neck pain. Hey, it's the one we just talked about putting a brace on. A bone mace. Pick another player, they lose 3 fortitude. And then she got me in a headlock, and it really hurt. And that's one of the barbarian characters, and I put an ogre in a headlock, and then this one follows up with that story. A giant with a hangnail. This shield is too small for me. You can have it. The Old Buckler. You may play this card when in action. Sometimes or anytime card would make you lose Fortitude. Reduce the Fortitude loss by 2. A server with a drink tray elbow. Comfortable shoes. Gain 1 Fortitude. They just keep ordering more. That's odd. A scurvy dog with a broken leg. There's a drink coupon. You may play this card during the order a drink phase to order 2 additional drinks for free. You know carpentry, right? An inventor who crossed the strings. Bzzz. Tinkered goblet. You may reduce the alcohol content of a drink you're about to drink by 2. A mildly concussed under citizen. Out of nowhere, this kobold just slammed right into me. That is a reference to a later character. It's Jet. Which we're going to do next. Ignore Bark Sting Potion. Ignore an action sometimes or anytime card that affects your Fortitude. A Triumphant Rookie Adventurer. It's the last hit that counts. Weird Charm. Draw 4 cards from your character deck. And then finally we have a Thwarted Thief. At least I disarmed all the traps. The Alertness Potion. Lose 2 alcohol content. Alright, so that was Dr. Tracy. So what? Interesting deck. Like, you're going to get all them extra cards in there to give you a bunch of bonus effects. Looks like you play different stuff. Alright, let's hop into our next character. I did say I was going to do this in 2 videos. I think we're going to probably break this up into 3, because going through these cards are taking a little bit longer. To do 5 characters, I don't want to have, too long of a video. So, I'll probably do 1 more character after this, and we'll do the rest in the second part. We have Jet the Courier. So he has a momentum deck. Not a momentum deck, a momentum card. So he gains 1 momentum. So he just has momentum here on the side. He doesn't have any other special things. So we look at there is his card. Jet the Courier. So he is a Kobold Acrobat. So we just had that reference I said to him. And at the back of the card, it says, place the momentum tracker card next to the playmat. Put Jet's hack on the 0 space. At the beginning of your turn, gain 1 momentum up to a maximum of 3. Some cards have different effects depending on his momentum. If a card causes you to gain or lose momentum, it's part of the card's effect, so the card is negated. You do not gain or lose the momentum. You may play a card that causes you to lose momentum, even if you have less momentum than the card would make you lose. If an effect allows you to spend momentum, that is an additional cost to play the effect, so you must have at least that much momentum to activate the effect. If it is negated, you do not get it back. Say this movie's momentum card. There's a little hat token used to keep track of it. It is double-sided, but the other side doesn't do anything different. So, alright, let's hop into the decks. We're going to have our 6 I'm Gambling in cards to play the same. 2 I Raise cards. 2 Winning Hand cards. Tip the barkeep. The barkeep thinks he's got plenty of drinks. 2 copies of Bring Some Drinks for My Friends. And his I Don't Think So card. So that is all of his basic cards that everybody has, and we'll hop into his actual deck. So he has coming through. We'll zoom back in a little bit there. Pick another player, they lose 3 Fortitude. Lose all your momentum. Can't stand still. Draw a character card from your character deck. Gain 1 momentum. So just setting up for more turns. Sorry about the claws. Pick another player, they lose 2 Fortitude. Draw a card from your character deck. Give me that. You deal too slow. Take control of a round of gambling. Pick another player in the round. You and that player must each draw X card from your character deck, where X is your momentum. So you can tell he's going to have a ton of cards to play. That's shadier than the Undercity basement. You may play this card when another player plays a cheating card. You may not play it if you have already left the round of gambling. Negate the cheating card and draw one card from your character deck. Gain 1 momentum. Take control of the round of gambling. The round continues to your left. Want to see a coin trick? You may play this card anytime during a round of gambling, even if you have already left the round. Take 1 gold from the pot. If you have 3 momentum, take an additional gold coin from the pot. I'm on a good run. Take control of a round of gambling. Draw 1 card from your character deck. Gain 1 momentum. We got 2 copies of A Race. You're on. Pick another player, they lose 1 fortitude. Or pick another player, they lose fortitude equal to your momentum. 2 copies of Package 3, You Gotta Run. Pick another player, they lose 1 fortitude. Draw 1 card from your character deck. If it is your action phase, you may play another action card this phase. So there we go. So that's going to be a lot. I think we're going to get a lot more of that. 2 copies of Sign right here. There you go. Pick another player and they pay you 1 gold. If it's your action phase, they may play another action card this phase. You may pay 2 momentum. If you do, put the top card of your Drink Me pile onto that player's Drink Me pile. Pay up. These deliveries aren't free. You deliver everyone's packages. Each other player pays you 1 gold. Each player, including you, draws 1 card from their character deck. Ridiculously flexible. Ignore an action, sometimes or anytime card that affects your fortitude, or ignore an event. So there aren't any events in this game, but this is, that's what makes it fun, mixed with some other decks. Or you may play this card when you leave an ante. Instead of anting, you leave the round of gambling. We have 2 copies of Parkour. Ignore a drink, reveal the drink first, gain 1 momentum. I'll take it to go. Reduce the alcohol content of a drink you're about to drink by 2, or spend 3 momentum to ignore that drink instead. Reduce the alcohol content below 0, reduce to 0 instead, reveal the drink first. So there's something spending your momentum. Too slow. You may play this card anytime in action. Sometimes your anytime card would make you lose fortitude. Reduce the fortitude lost by X, where your X is your momentum. We have 2 copies of Rise Above Adversity. Ignore the action, sometimes or anytime card that affects your fortitude, alcohol content, or gold. This may not be used to ignore a round of gambling and lose all your momentum. Gotta put on the brakes as he's running towards Angry Pookie. You may play this card when in action, sometimes or anytime card would make you lose fortitude. Reduce the fortitude lost by 2, lose 2 momentum. 2 copies of I Don't Always Stick the Landing. Pick another player, they lose 2 fortitude. And finally, Out of the Way. You may play this card immediately after you lose fortitude from a card played by another player. May not play this if you reduce that fortitude lost. That player loses X fortitude, where X is your momentum. Lose all your momentum. So it's going to be interesting. Getting a lot of cards, give you lots of options. And then just spend your momentum at times to do X traditional effects. A lot of fortitude loss versus alcohol. So he's focused more on maybe hitting people and doing physical damage versus doing the alcohol damage. But that is Jet the Courier. So yeah, definitely an interesting character. Alright, so we're going to do one more in this video, I think, and then we'll end it just so when each video doesn't get too terribly long. So we are going to start with, or finish up with, rather, Beast Sergeant Yelga. So Beast Sergeant Yelga doesn't have any special things on her card. No special extra areas. There is her divider. Is a Dwarf Ranger. And just very simple. Some of Yelga's pets have this subtype pet This is shown both by the line under the type and the pause symbol in the upper left. Several cards reference pet cards, allow you to get fancy with all those cards. So this is a little bit simpler one. So we have our 6 copies of Gambling I'm In, 2 copies of I Raise, 2 Winning Hands, Tip the Barkeep. Barkeep thinks you should stop playing with drinks. 2 copies of Barkeep Bring Some Drinks from My Friends, and her I Don't Think So card. So they're standard cards. Then we have a pet, so it'll be a little pet symbol, action pet. Ooh, he's taking a liking to you. Pick another player, they gain 2 alcohol content. 2 copies of... Now remember, Vivi, friends aren't food. I love these callbacks. This is what they said to Pookie in the first set. There we go. Pick another player, they lose 2 fortitude. 2 copies of Group Hug. Each other player loses 1 fortitude. If it's your action phase, you may play another action pet this phase. You can only play one that says pet. We have 2 copies of Someone's Got Ants in Their Pants. Pick another player, they lose 2 fortitude. Where I come from, we put the drink in the worm. Reduce the alcohol content of the drink by 2. Reducing the alcohol to 0 reduces it to 0 instead. 2 copies of I've drunk stronger stuff running down tavern walls. Ignore a drink. Thanks, Mauser. Spores do make it better. So she has a worm pet, a worm, purple worm slime thing, and a lichen mushroom dog. Interesting. Reduce the alcohol content of a drink by 1. Add the effect, gain 2 fortitude to it. This will curl your whiskers. Split a drink you are about to drink with another player. You each take half of that drink's effect, round it up, reveal the drink first. Oh, lost my focus. How did this get in my snack pouch? You may play this card when you're about to lose gold. Use gold from the inn rather than your own stash. So she's got like a fuzzy bat line, which is very interesting. How about some fancy rocks instead? You may play this when you're about to lose gold. You don't have to pay. Uh-oh, time to dig our way out of trouble. Ignore an action sometimes or anytime card that affects your fortitude, alcohol, content, or gold. You may not use this to ignore a round of gambling. If you're cheating, you might have a little accident. You may play this card when another player plays a cheating card. You may not play if you'd already left the round of gambling. You negate a cheating card, you win the round of gambling. So what's fun about something like this is it. The first card, first deck, Tracy had a bunch of gambling cards. Jet had a bunch of gambling and cheating cards. Jet had like a few cards that kind of let him manipulate that. Where Yagella doesn't really have anything like that. And that's what's nice about these characters. If you don't like the cheating card, you can find characters that don't have those. We have 2 copies of Good Thing I Was Wearing My Great-Grandmother's Bucklers. You may play this card anytime in action, sometimes, or anytime card would make a fortitude loss. Reduce that fortitude loss by 2. Careful, they swarmed when threatened. You may lose this. Play this card immediately when you lose fortitude from a card played by another player. May not play this card to reduce your fortitude loss. That player loses 2 fortitude. 2 copies of Sorry, I'm on Patrol Duty. You may play this card when you must ante. Instead of anteing, leave the round of gambling or ignore an event. 2 copies of Who Wants a Spelunker Snack. Reveal cards from your character deck and reveal a pet card. Add that card to your hand. Shuffle the rest into your revealed cards back into your character deck. Want to hold one? Pick another player. They lose a fortitude. You may return a pet card from your discard pile to your hand. If it's your action phase, you may play another action pet phase. And then the last one is flip no back to the barn. Each other player loses 2 fortitude and discards the top card of their drink me pile. So very interesting. So lots of just getting to play extra cards a little bit here and there. Also, these are just if you kind of pay attention as you're going through, they do reveal all her main different pets. We have that lion bat, which is Viv. We had right there. We have Flip, which is the big groundhog, which she rides on. Mauser, who is the spore dog. So those are the main 3. And I don't think the worm actually had a name. But very interesting. Yeah, so it's a little bit more of a simpler deck. You just kind of play, you occasionally get to play some extra pets here and there. I wish there was more cards that did something with the pets. It doesn't seem like there's too many. There's a few that just let you play an additional pet card. But yeah, then you have to get something else like with that mechanic, I guess. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do for video 1. We took a little bit of time to go through and explain the game a bit. So come back for part 2, look over the rest of the characters, and then video 3 will be all the collector stuff. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.